Alright, I'll admit this, guys. When the mother walks into that room and you see the broken window, all the birds lying on the ground, and you see her friend lying dead in the corner with his eyes pecked out of his head, I jumped. What can I say? That was a very unsettling scene. Anyway, The Birds. The Birds was directed by Alfred Hitchcock in the year 1963. It stars Tippi Hedren as Melanie Daniels, a bird saleswoman who meets this lawyer, Mitch Brenner, who is played by Rod Taylor, and he wants to buy two lovebirds for his little sister who's turning 11 years old. And what does Melanie do? She buys the birds, drives out to their farmhouse in this Bay Area, sneaks into their house, drops the lovebirds off just to surprise them for the daughter's 11th birthday. Are we just gonna ignore the fact that how creepy that is? Really? Anyway, she gets to know him a whole lot better. They start getting along. Even the little girl starts liking her very much, except for their mother, by the way, played by Jessica Tandy. She's very protective. She's always looking out for her kids. She doesn't like Melanie at first, and I'm thinking to myself, woman, why are you so protective over your son? He's like 35 years old. Really. But anyway, they start growing a little bond, growing a bond. They start liking each other, and it's sweet and everything. But still though, you gotta admit she is a little bit overprotective. Now, with the bird stuff that finally happens in this movie, it doesn't really happen immediately. One seagull comes down and smacks her in the face, I guess, and then you see that long line of crows just on that wire looking down at looking down at Mitch while he's walking out of the house. It has those unsettling moments that lead up to the attacks that finally happen later on in the movie. And when the birds finally do attack, nobody knows why it starts. Nobody knows how it started, why it started, or just plain old why are the birds doing this in the first place. They're coming down, smacking people in the face, they're scratching at them, trying to peck at their eyes and everything. And you also have these bird experts in these movies trying to explain the patterns on how birds behave and everything. But in reality, even even when you really think about it, there is no way that this is normal behavior for birds. I mean, it isn't just seagulls that do this. There are crows that do it. There are small little birds that fly into a chimney and start terrifying the family. What's the explanation for that? Nobody really knows. One thing's for sure, this movie brings up a lot of questions, like how it started, when is it going to end, how are they going to get out of this mess? And what I really like about this movie is that it leaves a lot of these questions unanswered. Why do I like it? It builds up the thrills and the horror of what is going on. Kind of like saying maybe there is no explanation for it. Maybe the birds have finally turned on humans. Who knows? That's the type of questions that this movie brings up, and I'm glad that they keep it on the down low. And for a lot of thrills in this movie, there are a ton of them. Like, for example, you hear the birds outside, you hear the caws or crows or whatever just circling around this house, and you're just thinking to yourself, okay, let's make sure that the windows are closed, let's make sure the doors are locked, because they are pecking at the walls. You see little holes getting dotted into this door and everything, and you're just thinking to yourself, yeah, this is not normal bird behavior. They are definitely trying to kill these people. So there's that in general. And also that room scene with the scene that Tippi Hedren says really terrified her on set, where you see this hole in the ceiling and then you see those birds in the corner. Those birds are just sitting there for a second, then all of a sudden they go bah! They just jump at her. In other words, this movie is still effective even today. Yeah, just like Psycho, this movie still has the thrill, still has the horror, still has the excitement as well. And why do these movies still have those? Maybe it's because Alfred Hitchcock is a very unsettling dude in real life. A lot of actors have said that they hated working with him. He used to terrify people on set. He used to do horrible things to them and everything. His horrible behavior, his scary personality really do affect his movies in general. Does I mean, for the fact, I like his movies. I like his movies. I'll say that, but I wouldn't recommend really liking to meet the dude in real life. So I'll say The Birds is definitely a classic. It is definitely creepy. I'll say that Psycho is better than this movie because what can I say? If you can make a black and white film with a creepy soundtrack and a lot of twists and turns that definitely keep you engaged into the story, you got to win right there. It doesn't change the fact that this movie is still a good one. It's still a very good movie, but I will say this movie is classic. Why do I put it on the downgrade? Mainly because of the animal cruelty in this movie. Yeah, I'm the type of guy that doesn't like animal cruelty. The way they treated the birds on set, I do not like. Doesn't change the fact that it's still a good movie. It still has the thrills, and it still has the excitement as well. So, guys, The Birds, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.